Good morning. It is April Fool's Day. I didn't even think about that until I just said it right now. I gotta start planning for my family. My name is Sarah Trino of Whole Woman Wellness. I'm very glad that you are here today. Well, today we're talking about something. It is the first day of April Move Month, which we're going to talk about later. But I wanted to talk about something as a start for you. I got a lot of people that are like, I don't like to exercise. I hate to exercise. I don't want to move my body. Yes, I want you to know I hear you. I see you. I understand so much. And so I want to help today with a bit of a reframe, and maybe it will be helpful to you. So let's start by saying that I think it's a great opportunity when you're doing this challenge, April Move Month, if you've joined me, to consider breaking up with exercise as you know it, as you've been taught it. Let me tell you why. The first thing is I want you to know is that exercise as it is currently in its form right now is an industry. It's a multi-million-dollar industry. And it is it's very connected with the diet industry, right? And so the exercise industry has often tied itself to the diet industry. With diet culture comes a tone in exercise, a shaping of exercise that is inexorably tied to fix yourself. Fix yourself. You're broken, fix yourself. You're too big, you need to be smaller, fix yourself. I think it's time that we collectively start getting really critical of the messages that we have been taught and told about exercise and about dieting. And I think it's time that we start speaking out against this industry that has oppressed and made women specifically, but men too, feel like they cannot be their whole and beautiful selves, that they're in some way not enough, that they are broken. Nope, I'm done with it. So if you are joining me for April Move Month, first, welcome. Hi, so glad to see you. Second of all, know that this is an opportunity for you to start reconnecting with your beautiful machine, and it's an opportunity for you to start breaking up with what you've been taught and told about exercise. Even the word exercise strikes a tone in people's bodies that is often really unpleasant. Okay, so first reason why you might want to break up, we just covered, exercise is an industry. Second is within that industry, you've been taught that it's complicated. You've been taught that moving your body is complicated. You've been taught that you got to do it a certain way. You've been taught that in order for you to look like XYZ, you have to do XYZ, right? So can you see how it's tied together? And what that has done, what messaging has done, is you got to do it this way. It has disconnected many people from their machine, so much so that they almost don't even want to move because they don't know, well, why bother? There's a lot of that, why bother? And there's also, I don't know what to do, which is startling. Isn't that startling? You know what to do. You are your best teacher. You are your best mover. It's not complicated, right? Moving your body is not complicated. This month is an opportunity for you to explore and get curious about what feels good for you. Because what feels good for you and what works for you may not feel good and work for anybody else. For example, with respect, I am 5'10", and me doing Zumba, it's not a pretty sight. It's just not. I love it. I have a great time, but I'm going one way while everyone is going the other way. And I don't have a lot of fun because everyone's moving really quickly and I can't quite catch up. My point is that may not be something that brings me pleasure. So I'm constantly being looking and finding and seeking out ways to move that feel really good for me because it's my body. So number 2, you've been taught that it's complicated. It's not complicated. It's just moving. It's just moving your body. Third reason why you want to maybe break up with exercise as you've been taught it is because it's tied to the diet industry. There always has to be some sort of outcome. You know, if you do XYZ, it will result in XYZ, right? And so then you don't move for pleasure, right? You're moving for outcome. Versus if you can kind of separate yourself from that messaging, you'll really start to sense and feel how good it feels to move. How good it feels to move your machine. If you can really start to settle in, you're going to start to notice that in addition to it feeling good physically, it starts to affect other areas of your system. Start to feel better emotionally. Start to feel stronger, girded internally. Can I get an amen? Is this resonating with you? Let me know. So my proposal in the April Move Month Challenge is to consider doing something else instead. Consider not looking at it as exercise. Consider simply looking at it as in a way of, how do I want to move today? How do I want to move today? Do I want to go for a walk? Do I want to climb some stairs? Do I want to go for a hike? Do I want to jump rope? Do I want to dance? What is it that you want to do? And do that thing. So it's breaking up with the word exercise, which is super loaded for many of us, and embracing the word move. Just move. Movement. Move. Body is meant to be articulated. Move. Meant to be motored. Move. In whatever shape and beautiful conglomeration these parts are come together. Yeah. The second thing that I would suggest is to remember, recall, reconnect, all the re's, how it feels to move, because your body remembers. If you look at children as they're playing, it's like this beautiful illustration of functional movement, right? They're squatting down and looking at worms. They're jumping high. How do you want to reach that branch, right? You know, their bodies are a perfect illustration of functional movement. If you want to know how you can start to move, watch a child. They run just I want to run from point A to point B, right? They don't think about it. They're not like, I got to get a special pair of shoes, right? They're just, let's run. Same. Start to explore how it feels to simply move your body. We're going to talk more about functional movement as this month goes on, but just watch a child, watch a kid move. It's a thing of beauty. And the last thing I would suggest in this month is seek out pleasure. You know, again, what feels good, and seek out consistency. So seek out pleasure and consistency. So that's what this month is all about. It's not about losing 10 pounds. It's not about coming out the other side of this virus looking better than you did before. Believe me, if you want that program and that trainer, there's a million of them, you can go find them. This is about reconnecting with your beautiful self and reconnecting with what pleases you with regard to movement. Because all the body of research shows that moderate movement, moderate exercise, finding a way to move and done consistently, boom, huge. So don't avoid it anymore. This is an invitation. It's an invitation to reconnect with your beautiful self because you're so worthy and your body is longing to move. So welcome. I'm super glad you're here. If you haven't signed up, I will put the information below. Yay, it's April Move Month. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.